Kathleen Kuznick. I am the chair of the Legislative and Economic Development Committee for the Pittsburgh North Regional Chamber. And today we're doing a video as part of our Workforce Development video series. Today I have Geoff Zak from FocalPoint Business Coaching of Greater Pittsburgh. Welcome, Geoff.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And thank you for participating in our project. So at the beginning, can you just tell us a little bit about how FocalPoint Business Coaching helps business owners?
Sure. So FocalPoint Business Coaching is a worldwide collective of business coaches. It's a franchise. It's based on the teachings of business thought leader Brian Tracy. And what we do is we work with business owners to maximize their potential. So we help them to unlock possibilities with their business and with their lives. And we do that through one-on-one coaching, group coaching, business assessments, specific training. We have a number of specific workshops that we do to inform what we do, and a curriculum that as well that's based on business principles that we pepper into our coaching sessions. And what a coach actually is similar to a sports coach. So we work with business owners who, in the analogy, would be athletes, to be aligned with what their particular purpose is, to find the best ways to practice, to create action plans to get closer to their goals, and then to hold them accountable to that goal. And hopefully, unlike Bobby Knight of the Indiana Hoosiers, I won't throw any chairs around during our sessions. But whatever is effective, we find our unique ways to get to know you personally, and then to leverage that to be able to help you to get the most results out of your business.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. I mean, basically, a lot of our business members probably don't know about business coaches or so much what they could do for them. And there's a lot of things business owners just don't know or haven't thought of outside their box of their business or their product or their service. And you can really help them with that. And it's good. We're glad to hear you don't throw chairs at them either, because that's not
And it's important to note that we don't just work with those who might be struggling or have challenges. Really, business owners are business owners because they're successful and they have a strategy for success, and they're extraordinary people. So it's really also about helping them to get to the next level.
Okay. And one of the things that all businesses need to get to the next level is to have a strong workforce. And as you know, post-pandemic, things have changed. So what are some of the changes or programs that you think employers should have to retain their current employees?
Yeah, I think the whole framework with the pandemic and how that's affected the workplace has changed. I think during the pandemic, employers experienced a great period of instability in so many ways, and they really came to appreciate and value those employees, especially the essential employees who stuck with them. For employees, I think they really understood and came to appreciate the value of their time even more, and also the idea of wellness. How are they being promoted to be well in the workplace? So with that in mind, what I would suggest, and I see as the trend, is a greater focus on retention-based practices in hiring. And in the past, when I worked with nonprofits in workforce development, we worked in a case management structure with our clients to ensure from day one that they were set up to succeed with their goals. And it's very much the same with employers. How are they setting up their employees to succeed from day one? And I think creating a very strong onboarding program is important. Having a very strong benefits package, a wellness program, opportunities for advancement, paid time off. These are just a few small things that they can do to really make a difference and really make the opportunity enticing for their employees. I wanted to mention one of the things I'm doing now. I have a current project. I'm working with a food hall, and these are new management operators of this food hall. And what we're doing is, as they're creating their strategy for working with their employees, we're baking into their very DNA an employee development program. And what we're doing is we're lining them up with myself as one of them with career coaches and those who can assist them with creating a very individual plan for their success and their goals. Through that, this employer, which is very, very progressive, is seeking to target those constraints that are both professional and personal constraints that might keep them from being unsuccessful at their job, and finding those ways to leverage their resources to help them through that, including creating training programs, and doing assessments for them and finding other ways to give them a clear idea of what their advancement might look like. So it's a much more of a concierge program, if you will, for their employees. And that's something that I think any employer can do, even on a small scale. There are very small things that employers can do to make much more of a concerted effort at retaining their employees and being proactive about it.
All right. So in an earlier discussion, you talked about how all companies have a sales proposition, but you think companies could focus on having a hiring proposition when they're reaching out to try to get new talent. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the idea of a unique selling proposition for your customers is that you have very strong, unique points of value that distinguish you from other folks who do the same thing. And it's very much the same with hiring. Your unique hiring proposition is something that every employer should look to cultivate. And that includes those points where they really stand out from other similar employers in the workplace, and what they can do to make that experience special and to create a culture that is going to not only concierge, but in essence cater to that employee and create an atmosphere that's going to be much more productive and ultimately of value. I think that employees right now, again, speaking generally, we're seeing this younger generation may not be quite as focused on finding a consistent employer and working with them over time. And there's something very important about creating a long-term relationship with employers. So the unique hiring proposition would include, how can we create this unique long-term relationship together, and how can we make that of value for you on your path? And it takes maybe a little bit of extra effort and maybe some extra money as well to create these programs, but ultimately they're worth it. It costs so much to replace employees that being proactive and doing this upfront work is of tremendous value for employers. So hopefully more employers are looking at that.
Okay, well, Geoff, thank you so much for all that great information. Can you give us some contact information for our members to reach out to you?
Yeah, so my email is gzak, G-Z-A-K, at FocalPointCoaching.com. And my phone number is 412-532-9208. And I love to work with my clients. Obviously, I'm a small business owner like all of the chamber members. But that said, I also love being a resource. I really care about my chamber members and providing value to them. So if there's any way that I can be of value or offer some points of advice or some resources, I really want to openly offer and invite any chamber members to approach me so that we can continue that conversation and I can find ways to help you to augment your efforts to finding a more stable workplace and making it a much more enjoyable and productive place to work.
Okay, Geoff, well, again, thank you for doing this. And I also like to thank the Pittsburgh North Regional Chamber for giving us this wonderful opportunity. Goodbye.
Thanks. Bye.